Out of all the LEGO cars I've photographed, this stands out as one of the most iconic. Each time LEGO releases one of the iconic car replicas, I go out and photograph them. But none have gotten me as excited to build and shoot as this one right here.
There's a point, 7,000 RPM, where everything fades. The machine becomes weightless, just disappears. And all that's left is the body moving through space and time. 7,000 RPM, that's where you meet it. You feel it coming, creeps up on you close in your ear, asks you a question. Who are you?
Look at what we just got in the mail. This is a big box right here. In this box is my very next LEGO photography project. This is the brand new LEGO Icons 1960 Shelby Cobra. Just look at that. That is a marvelous piece of ingenuity. Is that even the right word for that? Look, I've always enjoyed taking photos of all the different LEGO car models. They're so fun to photograph, and of course I can never afford the real life version of these cars, so LEGO is the next best thing. As soon as I saw this set get announced, I knew I had to grab it off the shelves immediately because it's just filled with a whole lot of history, and of course after watching Ford versus Ferrari and seeing Matt Damon drive it around, it's such a beautiful car, and that alone inspired a lot of different ideas for this cinematic video that I'm trying to create here. But there's another driving factor to this video. I thought, what better way to photograph a car from the 1960s than with a camera from the 1960s. This is my Vito CL film camera. It is fully manual. This thing is like a fossil. It weighs a ton, but it is so cool. All the different mechanical sounds it can make. It is a very, very cool camera. I've just loaded a roll of film into it, and I honestly have no idea if this works. I could get to the end of this video and have 36 black images, or the opposite, 36 images that are out of focus, because you have to dial this in. I have to line up these two needles to basically get the settings right, and then I have to basically guess how far away my subject is and focus it in from there. And we don't really use feet here in New Zealand, and that's all I've got to go off with. And for someone who dropped out of maths in year 10, I don't know how it's gonna go. But that's what's gonna make this video really cool, is I've got a challenge. I've got to try and master film or master photography in a completely new way. I'm gonna be shooting on 3 cameras. I'm gonna be shooting on the Canon R8, the Pentax 1993, and then I've got the Vito CL 1963. So I'm gonna get a whole wide variety of photos, but enough talking, let's build.
Hey now baby, I'm a moving with your vibration. Hey now baby, got me losing my concentration.
Now the idea is that we take it all the way out to Riverhead Forest. I've visited this forest quite a few times for a whole bunch of different shoots, but primarily going into the forest. But what I'm interested in is the windy, bendy roads that go around the forest. And I thought the contrast between the dark blue of the vehicle and the dark green trees would just be really awesome to shoot with. And hopefully, fingers crossed, shoot on the road safely. But for now, we gotta wait for this weather to pass, and hopefully next week we'll be able to shoot some really cool photos. I'm very excited for the shoot. Got so many ideas. Hoping this film is going to work. I mean, this would just be such a cool piece to shoot with from now on. Like, really hoping here. Really hoping here. But yeah, until next week, I guess I'll see you guys then. You know, I've got friends all around me who are mad into cars, and being the guy who shoots photos inches from the road at 100 kilometers an hour, that car fever tends to catch on. Okay, it's not the most attractive car in the world, the Nissan Pulsar, but I've always said when I can afford it, I'll get a classic car. But for now, we'll be sticking to the Lego models. Alrighty, so the first location is a little bit of a warm-up, just on the side of this road here. It's nothing too special, just seeing what kind of angles I can get with this car, because this car's quite low. But yeah, not a bad start. It's really hard taking film photos though, because I'll have to get all muddy and stuff on my knees in order to get the angle that I need, so I'm just kind of guessing with the focusing, but I just haven't got the photos that I want yet, and God knows if these film photos actually were captured, but I want to try and see if I can get this car onto the road safely and get a few cool photos there, because I think that will be really, really sick. So we're going to head a little bit further down and see what we can get. So after doing a whole lot of driving, we found this nice little road that has no exit, and there's some nice awesome colors on these trees, and it's a pretty nice little spot. I mean, it's something different. It holds a whole bunch of different colors, the greens, the oranges and stuff like that. So just gonna see what we can make out of this little area here. It's pretty nice. Jesus. Hello. Future me here. I just thought I'd interject and talk a little bit more about the last location, as I didn't do a whole bunch of filming there, just trying to get these photos before the rain came through. Essentially, I was driving around the outskirts of Riverhead Forest and going down a lot of different no exit roads and just trying to find some good locations. And then I landed on this road here, which has a nice overlook of this beautiful landscape. They just helped make this car look really awesome. I was able to get into an angle where I could make the car look really powerful. And I think it was really, really cool. And then I turned away from this part and I actually went onto the road finally. And I think the images kind of speak for themselves, but I was able to get some really cool photos here and have the road in the background and just make it look like it's driving on the road, which I was able to do safely. Only 2 or 3 cars came through over the 30 minutes I was here. And I was able to get some nice tree lines in the background as well. And this is one of my favorite, just having it almost parked on the side of the road. And yeah, I'm super stoked with these last few images, I really am. But the thing that I have been most curious about this video is if this camera actually works. Now, about 20 minutes ago, I just got the photos and I can confidently say, it works. It works. The camera from the 1960s actually works. Now, it took a while for me to get used to all the settings and stuff. Like I accidentally took a few long exposures by mistake. Like this image here is really cool. Although there's like a little overexposed part at the top, I don't know why that is. It's actually, the composition is actually pretty nice. Like the car on the right side and then that little house or barn in the left looks really nice. Like this is one of my favorite photos and the colors actually hold really well. And I'm very surprised I was able to get a lot of these shots in focus, considering that I'm only going by feet and I'm just guessing. Like with the settings you have the light meter, but with the focus you're just guessing. And I was able to get a few like standard photos, like behind the scenes and stuff like that. I really like these images here. Yeah, there's some really cool photos in here. Some of them just require a little bit of cropping and that's all I'm gonna do. I don't really want to mess around with the exposure or anything. I want to keep it as true to the frame I just want to keep it as authentic as possible. But yeah, this is a very neat little camera here. I'm definitely going to be shooting with this everywhere I go now, and I'm honestly more proud of the results on this camera than the point and shoot. But yeah, that's the shoot with the 1960 Cobra. So stoked that this camera works. If you have any favorite photos, please let me know, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.